Hello everybody and welcome to another vintage cube draft. We have a piece of power to start. Pretty happy about that. Mox Emerald's great. The worst Mox by a lot. Because like Elvish Mystic is basically the same as a Mox, so green just has access to plenty of ramp already. But still a great pickup. Other good cards are Sylvan Library, Factor Fiction, Xander's Lounge, Steam Vents, and not really Karn. Karn's fine in some decks, but yeah, those are the cards that I think are potentially first pickable. If there was no Mox in this pack, I think I would take Steam Vents, although it's kind of interesting between Steam Vents and Xander's Lounge. Maybe Xander's Lounge is better first pick, just to stay open, but we'll take the Mox very happily. Most Moxen pull you towards that color, of course. If you open a white Mox, that makes you lean towards a white deck. But this actually kind of pushes us away from green, weirdly. I'm not going to put too much stock in that, but non-green decks can use Moxen even better. Okay, pretty bad pack to follow it up. Definitely no green cards I'm considering taking. We could take Skull Clamp. It's not like it leaves us kind of open. It's good in the green decks, but yeah, I don't think we want to take that. I think it's really between like is it Signet, Bribery, and maybe Balance. I think I like just taking the Signet here. Bribery is a strong card, but yeah, let's take the Signet. Okay, so this start could go into a lot of different things. We could be mono blue artifacts. We could be like a blue red twin deck that's just playing Mox Emerald. It's pretty open. I think what we should do here is take Mystic Confluence. It's just the best card. Some pretty strong white cards, but these don't really push us towards white at all. Yeah, I think I like taking the Mystic Confluence here. Very strong card. This versus Bribery is kind of interesting. I think I actually like Confluence a little better, maybe. Bribery has a higher ceiling for sure. But Mystic Confluence is really strong. Okay. Here we see a Tropical Island, a Golos, another Signet, Mind Twist, and a Fetch Land. I think we just take the Fetch Land here. Yeah, you can never really go wrong with Fetch Lands. If we want to be like all in on the Signet plan, or the Artifacts mana plan, we could just take the Signet, but let's take the Bloodstained Mire. Okay, late Deceiver Exarch. We did already pass Steam Vents, which is like one of the big pull, like blue red is the twin color combination, but I think we still take it. Fifth pick, Exarch is definitely a bit of a sign. Thirst for Discovery is pretty good too, but yeah, let's take this Exarch. We may not get there on the twin combo, but it's at least worth trying or keeping open the option. Okay, now we see Baleful Strix is potentially the best card. Wasteland, Ancient Tomb are good. I do like both of these green cards. There's also one Power Stone, but yeah, I'll take the Strix. Whoa, there's a Mishra's Workshop. It's kind of interesting. Also Necromancy. Very late Necromancy and Cabal Therapist. Are we supposed to pivot to black? I don't know if we're going to full pivot to black, but I'm going to take the Necromancy. Okay. Looks like black is pretty open. We'll take a Grave Titan here. Wow, Xander's Lounge came around. That's great. Yeah, we'll definitely take the Xander's Lounge now and just be Grixis, I guess. Yeah, Grixis. It could be Grixis Reanimator, could be just Grixis good stuff. Skull Clamp is probably not going to be what we want here, but I also don't like the Pyromancer. I guess I'll take Crucible of Worlds, actually. We only have one fetch land right now. We're pretty far away from this getting there, but it's possible. Now an easy Night's Whisper, good pickup. I'm happy we went into black. I think I'm going to take a Signet here. Green is kind of open, and we do have the Mox Emerald, but I don't think this is shaping up to be a green draft. All right, Putrid Imp. I think Reanimator is pretty open. We'll see. I'm not going to play Putrid Imp unless we're pretty in on the Reanimator plan. But if we are able to get, like, at least 2 more reanimation spells and 2 more reanimation targets, then I'll consider the Putrid Imp. Probably not playing the Deceiver Exarch here. Oh, the Bloodghast Skull Clamp combo. Think of what could have been. Alright, interesting pack 1. Last pick, Lumberjack, okay. Yeah, interesting pack one. Blue is not very open. Black is pretty open. Alright, what do we have here? Teferi is good, of course. Not really the direction we're going right now. I love Treasure Cruise. In particular in like blue-black decks. It kind of depends if we are going to be more Reanimator or more like just mid-range. If we're playing just a control deck, then Treasure Cruise is the best pick. If we're playing Reanimator, then it's Stowaway. And I think I'm going to take the Stowaway. We saw a super late Putrid Imp there. This is definitely the most powerful thing we could be doing if it's open. And I think it is open. We only have one, like we don't have that much in the way of reanimation stuff so far, but I think that's because it wasn't opened rather than because someone else is taking it. So we should be able to get some of that stuff in packs 2 and 3. There's also Through the Breach, which is kind of interesting if we're going that route, but I think I'm going to take the Stowaway here. There's a Pestermite, but I think we don't take that yet. Yeah, let's just take Preordain. I love Prismatic Vista too, but Preordain is so good. It's good in any deck, and if we're doing combo stuff, then it's even better. Okay, a little bit of trouble with the art here, but there we go. Counterspell and Ponder. Counterspell is a better card in general, but I think we're looking like we're more of a Ponder deck in this situation if we're trying to go in the combo direction rather than control. Also, this is tough on the mana. I think we're going to be like heavier black, probably, although we are getting plenty of blue now, but yeah, let's take Ponder. Taking Preordain into Ponder feels just great. Now we see Treachery, Time Warp. I don't think we're a Tezzeret deck. Fatal Push is decent. Chrome Mox is a consideration, but I think I'm just going to take Treachery. Yeah, Treachery is just a great card. There's the Zealous Conscripts if we want to keep the Twin Path open. There's also Imperial Seal if we're really comboing. And Looteral Core to fill the graveyard. All interesting options. I think I'm going to take the Looter. Maybe I'm just like thinking way too much about this one Necromancy. But if we can get there, again, we got a late Necromancy and then a super late Putrid Imp. If we already had Entomb, I would just go all in on Reanimator for sure. I think I will take the Looter though and hope to wheel Imperial Seal. Probably won't wheel it, but black is pretty open. Yeah, I'll take the Looter. Close pick. Okay, Fallen Shinobi, Makeshift Mannequin. This is a bit of a decision point. Are we going to try and go more value or more Reanimator? I think I want to go more Reanimator in general, but I'm still going to take Shinobi here because it's so good. Putrid Imp, Suspicious Stowaway, Looteral Core, and Baleful Strix are three of the best enablers for this in the entire format. Yeah, we're going to take the Shinobi and then hopefully one of these two black cards wheels. Chupacabra versus Chart a Course. I think we're beginning to think we might not actually be reanimating, which means that Chupacabra is the better pickup for us. We'll still play Necromancy. Like, all the cards that we have are still good. But yeah, I think if we were hardcore Reanimator, Chart a Course should be better, but I think we should take the Chupacabra, given that we still only have one reanimation spell. And now we can take the Grief. Good pickup. Force of Negation on the wheel. That's nice. Yeah, we'll take that. So, looking like it's just back to blue-black mid-range. Still could backdoor into Reanimator, but we'll see. Alright, Pestermite wheel. That's interesting. That means Zealous Conscripts might wheel as well. I mean, we'll take it. May or may not end up getting there. But if we do pick up a Kiki Jiki in particular, we could reanimate it. It would be hard to make triple red in this deck, probably. But if we're doing Reanimator shenanigans, then, reanimating Kiki Jiki when you have a Deceiver Exarch is better than any other reanimation target that's ever been printed. Alright, bit of a brick here. We'll just take Cauldra, I guess. Time Warp on the wheel. That's kind of interesting. Bummer. I think this had two black cards that we kind of wanted. We'll take a Glorybringer, I guess. Alright, so right now we're just like a good blue-black deck. or just like solid value cards and interaction. I do kind of wish we had the counterspell now, but still, solid start so far. We have two combo plans. One is we have Imperial Recruit, especially with the Recruiter. We could go into Twin if we get that stuff for that, or we could go into Reanimator if we get the stuff for that, and we could also just stay a mid-range deck if that's what's open. And now we get Mox Pearl. Kind of funny to have two Moxen that are like, we might play Grixis and then have the green-white Moxen. But yeah, I mean, Mox is a great pickup. Jace would be really good too. Zagoth Trion would be fine. But yeah, easy Mox. Okay, there's a Recurring Nightmare. And Thief of Sanity and Mole Drifter. I think we take the Recurring Nightmare though. We have some good cheap creatures to enable it. Yeah, let's take the Recurring Nightmare. I would love it if Thief wheeled. I would definitely play Mole Drifter as well. But the thing is, this is like, some games we can just put Grave Titan into play on turn 3 or even turn 2 and just win. But it's also good for, Looping Grief and Chupacabra, just like solid value creatures. So definitely a good pickup. Now we see the perfect Signet. Yeah, I think we do just take this and replace the Izzet Signet. Everything else is here is very good. We're not a Craterhoof deck. Okay, I don't think we're a Brain Geyser deck, but we could play Liliana. Pretty good pickup here. Just fills the graveyard and interacts and is just a good card. Now we can take a Dark Confidant. That's kind of interesting. Our curve for the fact that we have some reanimation stuff, our curve is kind of low. Like it might hit us for 4 or 5 sometimes, but I think this is still a good card for the deck. Okay, now we see Jadar, which is good with the Recurring Nightmare. The Walking Ballista, Chain of Vapor, and then Phyrexian Tower. I don't think any of these cards are that good. I'm going to take Ballista, but probably not play it. Alright, last fresh pack. We see Scrubland and Mesmeric Fiend. Also, Infernal Grasp, which is pretty good. And we don't have that much removal, just Chupacabra right now. But I want to keep my creature count up for the Recurring Nightmare, so I think we take the Fiend. Oh no, this is the last fresh pack. Not playing Braids, probably. Although, we're not playing Bazaar. This isn't a Bazaar deck either, so we'll take the Braids. Okay, Bloodchief's Thirst Wheel, but I just want to take the Triome. The mana in this deck is not great. The removal is also not great, but I think I'd still rather have good mana and then be able to just try to be doing our own thing. With Moxen and accelerating into the stuff, we can go over the top of what they're doing, or go faster than what they're doing. There's a Breeding Pool, but I don't think we have anything pulling us towards green. So we'll just take a Blood Artist. I think this is going to be a 16-land deck with 2 Moxen. So we need one more spell to play. I guess Bloodghast. Nothing here is very good. We'll take this, which could be a sideboard card in some matchups. Okay, I wish we had gotten there on the Reanimator plan. We sort of ended up with, we just have 2 reanimation cards, but yeah, the deck is pretty good. We have good fixing. We can definitely get there. Kolaghan's Command is interesting. I don't think I'm going to main deck it, but we could play we could have at least 3 red sources by bringing in the Izzet Signet. And so if we play against a deck that has tons of artifacts and we really need Kolaghan's Command, we can go in that direction. Yeah, I think we'll just run it like this. I think having Ponder Preordain will go a long way to adding consistency, and having 2 Moxen gives us some explosivity. Oh, the Thief of Sanity didn't come around. That's too bad. Interesting. Let's take Jadar, I think. We're a little light on things to sacrifice. Jadar is probably better than Putrid Imp. Yeah. Okay, so if we did this, that gives us 9 blue sources, 10 black. Yeah, that seems good. It's not the best mana base because we're playing essentially two colorless lands, but I think this deck is really sweet. Blue black mid range. See you. Blue black recurring nightmare kind of. Split the difference between recurring nightmare and mid range, and talk to me in round one. All right, here we are for round one on the draw. This hand is so close. If this island was a swamp, I would keep it, but I think we got to go to six. This hand sucks, but I will keep it. Put back island, and then we'll grab Watery Grave with the Bloodstained Mire. Opponent's down to five. All right, that's a pretty good draw. Curving Liliana into Chupacabra is not the worst. They play land, then Brainstorm. Probably should have brainstormed first, although also probably won't matter. I think I'm just going to grab Watery Grave here. Oh, wait, we don't have Watery Grave. Okay, we'll grab Xander's Lounge, sure. Do we want to Ponder? I don't think so. We don't really know what we want here. We don't know what we're up against. And we have lands. Like, there's just no rush. Interesting. So they're certainly representing counter magic of some sort. I think I'm just going to jam Recurring Nightmare here. If they counter it, then we'll just play a fair game without Recurring Nightmare. Mana Tithe. Oh man, max punish for not playing the Mock Emerald. We won't make that mistake again. No play. All right, I will ponder now. I think I'm gonna play around Mana Leak though, because I do really want this ponder to resolve. Interesting. So let's keep these and play Grave Titan next turn. So we'll play Mesmeric Fiend to clear the way. All right, Containment Priest is fine. Good to know about, and I'm happy we're not going in on the Reanimator plan. Spell Pierce Path to Exile. Okay, we'll take the path, and then next turn we can cast Grave Titan. If they Spell Pierce the Mox, it does take us off the Titan for a turn, but that's just not too scary. Signet, all right. So this should be a pretty easy game. One win here. I mean, they could top deck something. Like, if they have Wrath of God in their deck, then they could just sweep our board away and be in a fine position. We'll hit them for one and pass back. All right, go to combat and swing. I'm gonna hold the Chupacabra. There's just no need to do that. Like this, we could hit for one extra damage with the Mesmeric Fiend, but that's not the axis upon which this game will be won or lost. Cathar Commando, all right. They're fighting the good fight. I respect it. They can't kill the Titan. They could trade with two zombies, or just take it all. All right. We'll point this at the Cathar Commando. All right. So, playing against blue-white tempo. I don't think we want... Oh, wait. We should bring in Walking Ballista, most likely. I don't love Necromancy against Containment Priest, plus... Yeah, let's just cut the Necromancy. I'll still play Recurring Nightmare as a one-of, but it's not a huge part of our game plan. And, yeah, let's just run it back. Oh, Bloodghast on the draw, maybe a little dicey. But what would we play instead? Nothing in the sideboard is really calling out my name. Could try to play Kolaghan's Command, but that's pretty tough on the mana. Let's play the Bloodghast. Yeah, we'll play the Bloodghast. It's still very good with Recurring Nightmare. It's good to mill over or discard a Suspicious Stowaway. And we don't know how aggressive they are, but it's not like it's only against like true all-in mono red that Bloodghast is actively bad. All right, opponent's on a mulligan again. Feel a little bad for them, but this time they do get to keep 6 at least. If they can kill the Xander's Lounge, we're in a terrible position, but hopefully it survives and we're able to stick these blue cards. Okay. Oh, before we drew the island, I was gonna say we need to prioritize using our blue source every turn. Not quite as true now. We'll go island, and then Jadar or Stowaway. I think I'm gonna play the Stowaway first. It's a little bit more likely to flip if we play it now. Okay, yeah. I mean, there's a good chance whatever we play is gonna get countered either way. But this is much more likely to flip if we play it on turn 2 than if we play it later in the game. All right, there's the Signet, and they pass. We will go... Oh, Fetchland's not terrible because we can shuffle away bad cards, but we don't have any bad cards. These are all great. Yeah, we can't play any of them this turn, so it doesn't really matter the order. Or we can't play the 5 drops, and we're going to play Jadar before playing the Strix. But got a couple really powerful blue cards on top of our deck, which is a good place to be. Caracas kind of shuts down Jadar. Okay, so let's go land, play Jadar, and I'm gonna attack. If it resolves, then we'll attack, and if it didn't resolve, then we would hold it back. So we sacrifice our zombie, play Baleful Strix, and pass. And now we have just an incredibly stacked hand. Fact or fiction? Into a lot of good action too. Click is the most annoying card because they have Caracas to pair with it. And we can't Mystic Confluence it. Yeah, Click would be annoying. I think I'm gonna do it like this. Don't care too much about the Council's Judgment. It's tough, but yeah, the Click plus Caracas is something that could really take over the game. And yeah, so all right, they take the 3. That's fine. They play Plains. Parallax Wave isn't that good if you're not pressuring, if you're not like doing something. Like if you just play Parallax Wave to stall, that's bad. You want to either be killing your opponent with the creatures or using Parallax Wave to protect Planeswalkers that are snowballing value. Just playing it to like buy a couple turns is not going to do much, probably. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm not too afraid of this. Okay, they take our Jadar. Fine by me. They do have Containment Priest, of course. Grief. Interesting draw. I think I like just casting Grief here. Yeah, I mean, we could hold it Mystic Confluence, but getting to take a look at their hand seems a little better. Okay, so they just have lots of removal. I don't care about this removal very much. I also don't care about Blade Splicer very much, though. I guess we'll take the Council's Judgment over Blade Splicer. Well, no, Blade Splicer's kind of annoying with Parallax Wave. Alright, we'll take the Splicer. Just leave them with removal and just overpower their removal. They drew Plains, totally fine. Council Judgment, take out the Grief, also totally fine. And then we'll sack this, grab our other blue source. Alright, we're just gonna hit for 1, pass, and then fire off Mystic Confluence to draw 3 if they don't do anything relevant. It's like they did find some action here, or they're just considering playing Winds of Abandon on this Baleful Strix. What we're hoping to find off of the Mystic Confluence is probably Fallen Shinobi at this point. Although Shinobi isn't quite live yet. There's one more turn where it could do something. Or where the Parallax Wave could do something. Arena Rector. Interesting. I think I'm just going to let this resolve and then go for Treachery on it. Draw 3. Okay, Recurring Nightmare is not bad. Let's go land. Oh wait, we can't Treachery this yet because of the Parallax Wave. So we'll just hit for 1 and then play the Recurring Nightmare and pass. Actually, might as well just get this little loop going. We'll bring back the Stowaway. And then play this. Pass. And then next turn, we're going to get back our Jadar. Sorry, there's some noise going on outside. I hope y'all can't hear that. Alright, we're going to take 1. That's fine. They're still just holding... Okay, the Alistar thing. I guess, yeah, fair enough. Let's go... Island. Treachery this. Oh, this is actually kind of sick. We get to Treachery this, then sack it to the Strix, go grab Liliana, and just like start looping Recurring Nightmare. So let's bring back this. Get our 1 Planeswalker. Then draw our card. Nice. Alright, pretty smooth sailing. We're 1-0. See you in round 2. Alright, here we are for round 2. We're 0 for 2 on the die rolls, unfortunately, but decent hand. We're hoping to get some Bloodghast value off of this Literal Core. Lead on Swamp. They get a Godless Shrine. Black-white should be a reasonable matchup for us, although I guess we're light on removal. So they get to take a look at our hand, and then we'll decide. Then they'll just basically decide for us if we play Dark Confidant or Literal Core. We take the Bob, fair enough. Strix, good draw. Still gonna play the Looter first and hope to loot away this Bloodghast and then bring it back. But we still have a blue card in case we need to force a negation, which hopefully we won't, but still good to have that on the table in case we do. Around C, I'm sad to see that. Oh, please don't beat Teferi. I don't want to have to burn this force. They don't know we have a blue card. They know we have Force of Negation. Seal from Existence. I don't think that's worth forcing. Recurring Nightmare. Interesting draw. Let's play Baleful Strix to draw. This does take the Force of Negation shields down, but I think we need to find some action. We'll play this, pass. They don't have any attacks now. I guess it's pretty terrible if they just jam like some 4-mana Planeswalker now. Yeah, maybe it was loose to do this, and we should have just left up the Force of Negation, but we didn't. We didn't get punished at the very least. Land. So they know about there's not much point in sandbagging the force and like holding up Force of Negation when they have this. So I'm just gonna jam the Recurring Nightmare and pass. Deck that would maybe play Cabal Therapist. If we had other discard spells, at least. Alright, we'll see if they want to do this. I would be pretty surprised. Right, that's great news for us. Now we can just play Bloodghast and bring back the Strix. We play land to bring back Bloodghast. Play Signet and pass. And again, I just don't think it's worth it to like hold up Hardcast Force of Negation. I guess it would force them to use it, but we can still force if we really need to, and this means we're more developed. But I guess the same. No. It was a bad play to play the Signet actually. Well, maybe not, because it does let us Hardcast Grave Titan next turn. I don't know. It's close. They play Kitchen Finks. Not too worried about that. Alright, let's just jam. I'm gonna start by sending in the Bloodghast. This is a fine trade. Oh. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. So we could play our land, which plays around Mana Tithe or Daze, or we could hold it to bring back with Bloodghast. I think at this point, bringing back one Bloodghast token is not really going to change it. So I'll play around the Daze. Jam Grave Titan. If they have a way to exile the Grave Titan, the game goes on. If they don't, if they either just kill it or something like that, then there's basically no way that they can get us. So they sack that. Fair enough. They get to name the Recurring Nightmare. Presumably. Cabal Therapist putting in a little bit of work now. They named Force of Negation, okay. So they could have Fractured Identity. If they do have Fractured Identity, we can still Treachery their thing. But the fact that they're taking Force of Negation is scary, because that means there's some sort of brutal non-creature spell that they think is going to be very effective here. This Shriekmaw in my hand looking real useless. Yeah, our one creature that Shriekmaw could have hit is under the Seal from Existence, which they're probably now wishing was targeting this Grave Titan. I'm not saying their play was wrong. I mean, shutting down our looting early was relevant, but you gotta like our position here. Okay, do we just attack with everything? Yes. Do we want to Treachery anything first? No, let's save Treachery. If anything goes to the graveyard, we can just bring it back with a Recurring Nightmare. Okay, they just block like that. Ephemerate, alright, fair enough. So the problem is that they can get us with they can take away our Treachery with Cabal Therapist. So I think I want to just jam Treachery on their Cabal Therapist before we just lose the Treachery. It kind of sucks because this loses our one way to deal with one of their creatures. Okay, they just concede, sure. So playing like base black white. They have one blue source. Unclear if they're playing blue. Lots of small creatures, some persisty shenanigans. Nothing that seems too terrible. I think this is another matchup where Ballista's good, which maybe this should just be in our deck. Um, what's bad? I think Bloodghast is pretty good in this matchup. Liliana seems good. Could cut Necromancy, but if they're playing black, that makes Necromancy better. Could cut Jadar. I don't want to cut a land. I don't want to cut any of this top end. I'll cut the Jadar. Bloodghast has the synergies with our looters, which is nice, and they both have the main purpose of just like letting us have bodies in play to sacrifice to a recurring nightmare. Okay, I'm gonna risk this hand. We get 4 looks at a land. Um, turn 1, Night's Whisper is great. Also, just having a Mox is great. If we do brick for 4 draws in a row, we're gonna miss our second land drop and be sad. All right, not an island, but cannot complain. Dark Confidant's a great pickup too. Do they have the Sculler again? Collective Brutality. All right, that's just like a Thoughtseize. They can take away our Mystic Confluence, but we get to stick our Bob. Sparrow's Headquarters is interesting. So I guess they are fully playing blue. The fact that they know about Fallen Shinobi is a little unfortunate. It's definitely a card that is better the more unexpected it is. But still, good position. We're threatening to ninjutsu next turn. We can also kill their creature if they play one. And worst comes to worst, we can just stick one of our looters. I think Suspicious Stowaway is pretty much just strictly better than Looter Core. Looter can block Doubt the Voidwalker, I guess, but it's kind of funny to have both of these side by side. All right, Ballista off the top. That's a pretty nice card with Dark Confidant. Do we offer this trade? They would take it. I mean, they can't really afford to just take the hit from Shinobi. Um, Dark Confidant, our life total is so high. I don't think we offer them that trade. So let's go land, Signet, Stowaway, and just pass. And if they attack us back, do we accept their trade? I think yes. Well, no, probably not. Our life total is high. I don't want to just lose a game unnecessarily to Bob killing us, but with the Ballista to kill off our own Bob, if we were to flip Grave Titan, we could take some defensive measures. The Meat Hook Massacre for 1. Alright, that's pretty good. So if we draw land, we can play a 3/3 Ballista. That's what we're hoping for, and just eat this. Nice. Do we want to just kill this immediately? I don't think so. They could have Ephemerate, but if they try to Ephemerate this, I'm fine just losing my last Ballista counter and trading that with Ephemerate plus Tidehollow Sculler. Thief of Sanity, okay. So we'll untap, and then Grief is a good draw. Let's start by swinging in with this. If they double block, I'll just put a counter on it and accept the trade. And they take it. Okay, that's exactly what we're hoping for. Now we can kill the Thief of Sanity. And then before this actually dies, ninjutsu and the fallen shinobi. Okay, nothing too broken, but I'll take the solid 2 for 0. The funny thing is, if this dies, it goes back to them, but I think it is still worth it to play. And then I'll just drop the looter and pass turn. Lingering Souls, that's just not high enough impact. It does block Fallen Shinobi well. I mean, actually, it's not too bad. But the Walking Ballista will put in some good work against it. If we draw another land, we can play a 4/4 Ballista. Does this trigger for all creatures or just non-token creatures? All creatures. So this will continue to represent somewhat of a life point swing, but I'm not too worried about that. We play Grief, pitching Cabal Therapist. They get to take out our Ballista and even drain us for 1 or hit us for 1. They take our Grief. Interest. Oh, they have Ephemerate. All right, fair enough, fair enough. They could win this thing. Bloodstained Mire, not a very good draw. Um, I think we do send in the Shinobi. Do we send in everything? No, I'll hold back the Finks. We'll send these two. Make them chump block this. Oh, they are going for the double block. I think this is fine. Full engineer, like with Ballista gone, it's gonna be hard to get past all these Lingering Souls tokens anyways. We take 2, they gain 1, so it's gonna go to 16 apiece. Then we get to loot. This is kind of like a top deck battle, but where we have Looteral Core. Alright, pass turn. They can ephemerate their Tidehollow Sculler here and see that we just drew another brick. Back under the Sculler, they can flashback Lingering Souls, and then have, honestly, a decent amount of pressure with 3 flyers plus the Meathook Massacre draining us every time we kill one of their creatures. Of course, we have a lot of draws that just win. If we could ever find, like, Liliana or Ravenous Chupacabra, or, sorry, Recurring Nightmare. Necromancy would be fine. Maybe not that good. Alright, looks like they just flash back the souls and pass. Solid Air Force. We do draw the Necromancy, interesting. Okay, I think I will actually send in the Finks 2 here. Because we need to pressure their life. And if they want to trade Finks and then they get it back on their side, that's okay. Yeah, trading Finks with 2 souls I would consider a win. Trading Finks with Sculler and getting back our Chupacabra would also be a win. And we're going to have a blocker on the ground for the Sculler either way. Which will just be the Fallen... Or, we can side between Fallen Shinobi and Grief. Good draw. Could also just bring back Thief of Sanity, which blocks their flyers the best. I think I'm going to bring back Grief. Take a look. They didn't play land last turn, so I think they do have a spell in their hand of some sort. Oh, they got me with a bluff. Fair enough. I still think that, like, honestly, a 3-2 with Menace might be better than a 5-4 on this board. They're never going to let it get through either way. I guess the Fallen Shinobi does block the Sculler better. Low-key MVP, Looteral Core. Just giving us, like, looting through It's already loaded through 2 excess lands, so it's essentially drawn us 2 cards. Let's just take this and then attack back. Hopefully they break for one more draw step. Alright. Go to combat and beat down. Maybe it's bad to attack with the Fangs, but I do like getting back the Chupacabra here. We're down to 11, they're up to 8. We get our Sculler back, we loot. They get back the Finks. Go to 10. And we'll take a look at whatever card they drew. Okay. Yeah, we're behind here. So Mesmeric Fiend is just a 1/1. Then we will Chupacabra down one of their flyers and pass turn. Looter has disposed of 3 useless lands now, and it's probably going to go to 4 next turn. All except the Finks for Mesmeric Fiend trade if they offer it, but they don't. They just hit us for 2. Interesting game. This has been like a weird form of life total race where like our attacks have been a little bit better, but then every time there's a trade, it helps them. And like now they have a slight edge, but we're gonna take it back on our attack probably. I think I'm gonna leave back. I don't want to offer the Chupacabra for Finks trade here, so just gonna attack with these 3. I guess we could trade the Strix for one of their flyers. I'm hoping eventually we'll just find some action that can put them more on the back foot, but so far we're just drawing lands. Okay, that is some action. Do we want to play around Miscalculation? That's literally the only card in the entire format that punishes us for playing this year, and the upside of holding a land is relevant if we are going for the looter, so I think it's worth it to play. So the Titan resolves. Our board is pretty beefy. Do they have a Shark Typhoon? Oh, okay, that's fine. So if they attack us with their spirits, we can only hit them for 7 on the backswing, so we cannot quite kill them. Send in 1. Okay, that kind of makes sense. So it's whenever their creatures die, we lose life. So if we attack and they block, okay, Dark Confidant, that's kind of funny. We could just try to get them with, oh man, another land. Luteral Core, bail us out, please. We just send in everything here. They could block, put us to 5. They still can't kill us, though, at least with what they have right now available to them. Alright, so they're going to take 5, go down to 3. And then we're going to take 1 and they're going to gain 2. So we're going to go down to, we'll go to 6, they'll go to 5. We'll also get to loot. If we find Time Warp, we just win. We could also find Ponder or Preordain, which would probably lead to a win. Okay, they also decide to trade with the Strix. A lot of Meathug Massacre triggers. We're going down to 5. If they have a Fallen Shinobi, that would be kind of awesome, and they would win. Loot. I'm just gonna pass. I don't think there's a world where we ever need extra lands here. All right, pretty sweet. There was the time warp. We were close, but really smooth sailing. This deck doesn't seem broken to me, but we are yet to drop a game. Hopefully, we can get that trophy. Maybe it is broken. We do have two Moxen. And lots of good stuff to play on turn one. Like turn one Jadar, or turn one Looter, Jadar, Suspicious Stowaway, or Dark Confidant puts the opponent solidly on the back foot. Maybe not Jadar quite as much, but like turn one Stowaway is arguably even better than turn one Dark Confidant in a lot of matchups. And we have plenty of ways to do that. Hopefully we can do it in the finals. See you there. All right, back for the finals against Melon Milk Tea. It's an interesting name. I think we went 0 for 3 on die rolls in this league. Either way, we definitely lost this one, which is unfortunate, but we're going to have a great hand. Oh, yeah, this is a great hand. It's not, like, perfect, but turn 1 Signet is definitely worth a keep. Opponent's down to 6. Island go. Pretty modest start. Oof. Not really what I wanted to draw there, but I'll take it. It means that our future Dark Confidant will not hurt us as much. Signet pass. Alright, Sensei's Dividing Top is not too scary. Oh man, I really wish we had an untapped land here for Grief. All this scary stuff on turn 1 to just go tap land go on turn 2. Good spot though. We have like the symmetry between these two is kind of funny. They have the same cost, 2/2 versus 3/2. Discard a card, kill a thing. Both solid value 2 for 1s. And so which one we play will be determined pretty much entirely based on what they do. They spin the top again. That might mean they're digging for lands. Hopefully that also means we're going to be able to resolve a Grief. Mishra's Workshop. That changes things. That makes this a little scarier. But it does also mean that they cannot hold up. They can't be holding up counter magic, so this Grief should resolve. We know they have a top on top. Oh, Force of Will. Okay. Hopefully this is a creature. Urza's Saga. Okay, that's a big problem. And then do they play a creature? Cycle Shark Typhoon for 0. Just to redraw the top, and then they replay the top. Okay. So hopefully we draw land so we can slam Grave Titan. If not, I'll just hardcast Fallen Shinobi. Preordain. Okay. I'll play that first, looking for land to cast the Fallen Shinobi. Okay, I don't think we needed the second land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can bottom the second land. Does it matter which one we keep? I don't think so. So we'll go land, hardcast Fallen Shinobi, pass. And this is like kind of a must block creature. And they can make a one chump blocker with Urza Saga, but then we can time warp, take another turn, and hopefully connect with the Shinobi there. I wish we had one more mana so we could also play Mesmeric Fiend, but such is life. Get in there, Fallen Shinobi, you beautiful zombie ninja. Alright, so they make a chump blocker, block it, and then we go for the post-combat time warp. No force of negation there, so we're gonna get to connect with the Shinobi. Ooh, we can also start hitting their hand pretty hard, which is the best thing you can do when you've established board presence. Getting a little bit of lag here. I'm going to restart the client in between or during sideboarding. Okay, deal. We'll go land, commando. Um, let's lead on Mesmeric Fiend. We could play Grave Titan, but I think I'd rather like disrupt their hand than add to the board here. So we're gonna take a look at their hand. Interesting. So we can exile what we care. Wow, this is okay. They just concede. So I mean, yeah, they stumbled and didn't do too much. Not too surprising. We were able to take that one down. Looks like blue-white artifact control. All right. All right. Do we want to sideboard at all against blue-white artifacts? Probably not too much. This doesn't seem like a walking ballista matchup quite as much as the others. Yeah, I think we're just going to run back the main deck. Game 2, match 3 for the trophy. Can we take it down? There's a good hand for it. Got the turn 1 force of negation if we need it. This is maybe a turn 1 ponder situation. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's not what I was expecting based on what we saw last game. Good draw. Let's just fire off the turn 1 Mesmeric Fiend then. And I think I'll accept the trade unless they hit something, unless we hit something out of their hand that's crucial. This card can really take over games, actually. Against decks that don't have board sweepers, like, they Force of Will or Mesmeric Fiend. Oh my goodness, okay. I think at that point you should Force of Will the Mox, probably, but we'll take the 2 for 1. They can hit us for 2, make another 1/1. Alright, Urza Saga. Fair enough. Presumably just hitting us for 2 and boasting. Alright. Mystic Confluence can handle the Urza Saga tokens down the road, and these tokens too, I guess. Let's go land Strix. I'm not going to trade this for the Human Warrior token, but I would trade it for the Usher itself if they offer that. All right. They don't decide to boast it because they're going for the Urza Saga tokens. Makes sense. Wow. Great draw. So we're just going to go for the Savage Mystic Confluence here. They're going to put all this mana into Urza Saga, and then we're just going to get a clean, like, kind of 1-for-1 answer. Basically, at the end of the day, we're going to have one card in our hand, so we're, like, neutral on cards. They're going to have one artifact in play. And they'll have put, I guess, 6 mana into it and also lost land. It's a slightly good exchange for us overall, I think. But kind of interesting. We could also only bounce one of their tokens. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. The other token, like being just a little 2/2, is not too relevant, and drawing an extra card, I think, is pretty important. Our life total is fine. All right, let's ponder. Hmm. I like the stowaway. I don't like the rest of these. I think it's worth it though for the stowaway, and we can just cycle the triome. Really prioritizing these looters in this league all around. I think that is a good move here. Oh, well, I guess, yeah. I mean, Caracas can sort of shut down Jadar, but that's okay. It doesn't fully shut it down even. So if they do we offer the do we accept this trade actually? Oh, they don't even attack. And they let us flip our thing. Now we have Force of Negation up. This seems great. Let's go to combat and send in the zombie and the werewolf. All right, we'll take the card. We know it's just a land. And then we'll play. Do I want to main? I'm not going to main phase cycle. There's not much we could draw that would change things. Let's just play Island and Pass, holding up Force of Negation plus Zagoth Triome. They should have. Well, there's not really a way to play around this because if they bounce it in our main phase, we can just replay it, and if they bounce it in our end step, then it's already made us the token. Definitely a good position here. I mean, they have scary things in their deck, but with Force of Negation up and Seafaring Werewolf drawing his cards, you gotta like this. Oh, that's a little bit more problematic. We'll cycle the Triome. Nothing. All right. That's really bad. Now they're just. Oh wait, I think we knew. Oh man, we just have all these lands in hand. We need to find a way to kill this sower. Down to 13. Yeah, this may have to end up going to game 3. Let's hit them for 2. You want to block? It's probably a good block here. Okay, we can at least prevent. Well, all right. Because we don't have enough black mana, they do get to stop us from Jadaring if they do it correctly, but they don't. We get to flip the Seafaring Werewolf back. But Sower of Temptation. That card can win games if you can't kill it. And both neither of these guys can block. We're taking 6 on the backswing. It was definitely correct to draw the extra card here, but even drawing the extra card wasn't enough. I guess the key point was we could have shuffled with Ponder. And given that they had a good answer to the stowaway, in hindsight I'm wishing that we had done that. We're taking a big hit here. We're not dead in 2 turns. We're not quite dead on their next attack, but it's close. But if we can find one kill spell for the sower, we retake a good position. Okay, Elite Spellbinder. The effect is pretty much totally irrelevant, but the body is not. Now they do have us on a 1-turn clock. And we draw yet another land. Rough. Um, yeah, I mean, that is just game. They can bounce this. Okay. They should not have counterspelled that, but fair enough. That was some rough mana flood there. 7, 8, 9, 10 lands plus 2 Moxen, 12 mana sources. Not really what you like to see. They have more creatures than I thought, so Ballista is actually amazing. And what do we cut? Could be Jadar. Yeah, I think it's Jadar. All right, game 3, match 3. Let's go. Play. Okay. The fact that we had Force of Negation up for so much of that game, and it was just didn't matter at all, is kind of rough. Especially after game 1, they were playing just all non-creatures. It really looked like Force of Negation was going to be a slam dunk against them. Okay, we need to find another black source for grief. But we get 3 looks. Okay, Knight's Whisper. Wish I had that last turn, but still a good draw. We're going to play the Strix. Looks like they're debating the Force of Will, but they decide not to do it. We'll pass back. No Force of Negation available here. Enlightened Tutor in their upkeep. Interesting. We must have Black Lotus or something. Just a Mox Sapphire. That's not too scary. As moments copying the Strix. Sure. Oh, they copied the Usher of the Fallen. That's interesting. All right, we'll accept this trade. So we've got a 2 for 1 there, 2 for 1 there. We're definitely up on resources. Okay, unfortunately, that does not give us grief, so we're going to play this. Then get our second black source into play and pass. We have Force of Negation up. They can hit us for 2 and then make a token, but that's just kind of small ball compared to what we're going to be doing soon. They draw the Urza Saga again. You gotta stop drawing Urza Saga every game, my guy. Urza. Okay. I guess that's kind of cool. You play Urza and his Saga in the same turn. All right, these Saga tokens are going to be huge. We need to find an answer to that soon. But Grave Titan will clog up the board pretty well. All right, so let's just grief their last card. And then we really need to find a land next turn. Just a land, or, oh man. Yeah, we could definitely lose this game. They can make another construct with Urza Saga, which will grow this construct to a 4/4. Grave Titan will clog up the board well, but we don't have long if we don't hit the land. Maybe it would have been better to play Looter plus Fiend. Although I do like the idea also of keeping the Looter in hand as a way to pitch to Force of Will or Force of Negation. This card has been so bad this league. So Healy. I think I will counter this. The problem is that it makes a bunch of tokens for them, and that makes their construct tokens even bigger. Now they actually cannot make a Saga token while attacking with his construct token too. So this they have land. Never mind, they can. Oh, we even knew about the land, right? So we can't block the construct profitably. So let's just trade grief for this. Just keep the board as clear as possible, and then really hope to hit a land. They're weighing the pros and cons of 1 damage versus playing around a board sweeper, and correctly decide that they're going to lose to a board sweeper anyways, so they might as well hit me for 1. And now we draw the land. Yes! Grave Titan is the perfect card here. So they're going to draw the Sensei, or no, they might not have any more artifacts to search for. That would be huge. If they have another artifact to search for, then their constructs become 6/6s, and we're getting to chump block or trade with Grave Titan mode. If they don't have a third 0 or 1 mana artifact to find with Urza Saga, the constructs stay 5/5s, and we're able to basically hold off their attacks. This is the key point in the game, because next turn we're probably going to be able to get a Fallen Shinobi hit in. We can drop another chump blocker and really start to turn the corner. So the question is just, do they have that third Mox or cheap card? Big moment in the game. Damn it, they have the second Mox. Okay. It's not over, but it went from us being massively ahead to them being massively ahead. They know about the Shinobi now. That's also bad. And they even got him up to 7/7. Brutal. Okay, so how do we win this game? I don't think we win by losing our Grave Titan. So I'm going to chump block and go to 3. Yeah, I don't think we can win if we trade Grave Titan for one of their constructs. If we find a removal, like if we can find top deck Ravenous Chupacabra, then we're in a great, like actually good position. Oh, these 7/7 constructs are so big. Can we just draw Mystic Confluence? Confluence, bounce, bounce, bounce. We have a lot of good draws. Recurring Nightmare or Necromancy would be good. Oh, we did it! We did it! Oh my gosh, that's so lucky, but I am not gonna complain. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Removing 21 power from the board. That's so sick. For the trophy, no less. Oh man, Mystic Confluence. My baby. Take 6. We're at 3, so that's a little scary. If they have Elspeth Knight Errant or something, they could just give this thing flying and kill us. But they don't have it, and we get the trophy. It's back-to-back trophies too. All right, that feels really good. I can't believe we ripped the Mystic Confluence. How would that game have gone if we had just ripped a brick? Probably badly. We can attack for 6. They probably trade with the construct. Then we have 3 tokens back to block. We can hardcast Shinobi and play a 1/1 and like trade the 3, and we could trade down the board. Basically, it would be our top deck versus their Urza, which is probably a game they would have won. It wouldn't have been over. That's also assuming we draw Brick. Mystic Confluence was the best card, but if we draw like Time Warp or something, then we could swing, trade Grave Titan for the construct, then Time Warp ourselves, untap, hit them with the zombies and Shinobi, and have lots of outs. Like it was far from the only card that would have won us the game there, but it was the best one for sure. And so I'll take that. We take those. Pretty sweet league. We got the trophy. We had 2 Moxen. The deck was like funnily fair for having 2 Moxen, but we had a lot of good cheap threats. Like the curve was low, and we had a lot of cards that could take over the game pretty well. Also, Ponder plus Preordain plus Looter plus Suspicious Stowaway gave us tons of card selection and decisions, which let us sort of sculpt a game plan and mitigate mana flaw to some extent. That one game where Looter El Core, I think, looted through 4 lands, and then we eventually won, was like a game where no other card could have won us that game, honestly. That was huge against the Mihawk Massacre. Grave Titan overperformed, I would say. This was an absolute stud every time we played it, which kind of makes sense. It creates 10 power. Like, it's really, really strong. It's expensive and a little clunky. Like, it doesn't impact the board past just putting a bunch of power out there, but sometimes just 3 bodies, 10 power is enough. And yeah, so great card there. People should start first taking Grave Titan again, like it's 2013. Really fun league all around. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.